Hey guys, so this video is going to be a little different than my usual videos. Starting off different anyway. But anyway, this is going to be the new garage that we'll be working out of. And so me and my soon-to-be fiance just bought this house. We just closed on it about a week ago. And this is the garage. And I'm going to give you all a little bit of back history on the garage where I've been making videos at. It's like a vacation property. It's been in my family for years. And, you know, just going up like on the weekends to cut the grass up there and maintain everything. And that's where that garage is that we've been making the videos in for ever since I started making videos. Well, I'm still going to have access to it. You know, it's limited access because of like weekends and everything. Instead of having access to it like, say, 24 days a year, you know, I'm going to have access to this one 365 days a year, so that's going to be a major improvement. So there's going to be a lot more videos. First thing you notice, it is a cinder block garage with a concrete floor that is kind of rough, as you can see. I mean, it's not, I've seen worse, you know, but these cracks, and this is the worst part of the floor over here. It's probably about an inch deep in some spots. It does have like a kitchen counter and everything. And I was thinking about taking all this out, and it's got cabinets up here too. But I decided just to keep it for now. And really the only thing I don't like about this garage is the washer and dryers out here too, which little note, my dad bought us a brand new set of Whirlpool washer and dryers for us for the house. So it's I want to thank my dad for that again. It's a big help in getting everything set up here. It's got a tankless heater in the garage here it's just for the washer and the sink over here. That's all it's connected to. There's a separate hot water tank in the house. It's the only vent that it's got in here is right here from the furnace. So it's cold in here. As you can see, there it is, gas hook up here too. I could put a heater here. But what I'm going to do is build a long workbench up to the heater here, which is approximately 15 foot. My other workbench is 6 foot, and it's 18 inches deep. I'm going to build this one 2 foot, and the whole length of this. So that's going to be a major improvement as far as the workbench goes. And for heat, I did pick up this type of heater. And we're going to be mounting it like right here. Heat the garage up pretty good. I may eventually hook a remote thermostat to it so I can have better control on it, but for right now we'll be using the built-in thermostat. But the lighting in here is going to have to be worked on. It's got 8-foot fluorescent lights over here. I mean, they work and it's decent light, but I'm just tired of fluorescent lights. I like LED. I do have some 8-foot LED bulbs. You see in those green boxes. So one of the upcoming videos is going to be how to delete the ballast from one of these and wire it up for LED lights. So that'd be probably the next video. And of course there'll be a video on installing the heater. And another problem is this breaker box is maxed out. It's just a sub panel feeding off the main panel of the house. It's fed off a 60 amp breaker. Like there's no way I can move anything around and like fix it. So I picked up a brand new here. It's a main lug type, which means it does not have a main breaker. It's rated for 125 maximum amps. We're not going to be running it on that because I don't know what the shape the wires in coming here. I didn't pay attention to what size it was when I had the cover off. It does have a cover going up to all the wiring. So what I'm going to do is probably cut that tray off a little bit to raise it up a little bit to get a little more play in all the wiring. And so that's what we're going to be doing with that. And it does have a full-size garage door. This is labeled as a 2-car garage, 24 by 26. It's the toolbox out of my truck. We're in the process of moving. So I want to talk about the upcoming video. Like I said, the 8-foot lights, the LED, the heater, building workbenches, rewiring the whole garage, adding receptacles. I'm going to be painting the walls. I'm going to come up halfway or about a third of the way with black. then like a dark gray at the top. I was going to repaint the ceiling, but it's in decent shape, so I'm just going to leave it alone to speed things up. I'm going to patch the floor the best I can, and if it turns out halfway decent, we might be going with an epoxy floor paint just to brighten things up, or I might just leave it alone, but I haven't really decided. And on this side, we'll talk about this here in a second. I'm going to have some more shelves and stuff for storing engines and parts and stuff on. But it's going to be a major upgrade, you know. We're still going to have access to the other garage, of course. And all the Montgomery Ward mowers will still be left up there. And so if I ever have to work on one of them again, which I'm sure I will, you know, you always have a video of stuff like that on there too. But, you know, it's time for an upgrade for this channel. And, you know, having a permanent garage to work out of, I have, you know, unlimited access to, it's going to be a major upgrade. So I've always done videos every 2 weeks. I'm going to change to weekly, then 2 a week, and eventually 3 a week. So there's going to be a lot more content for this channel. It's always going to be small engine repair, electrical, lawnmowers, tractors. There's going to be some automotive stuff. My new truck I bought this summer is a Silverado, and it's approaching 100,000 miles. So I want to do all the maintenance on it. So we might do some videos on that, putting brakes on it, spark plugs, and just a little bit of everything. But yeah, I just want to give you all a kind of an update here. I'm also going to be adding more fluorescent lights. I brought down some of the other lights from the other garage and bought one more, so I got 4 of the 10,000 lumen LEDs. I mean, it needs a lot of work done to it, but you know, once it's fixed up, it's going to be really nice. So just try to imagine, you know, a workbench. It says it's attached to the house. This is going into the kitchen, and so that's that. And I do have a water issue. We had a lot of rains the other day, and we had about probably a ½ inch water right here, and you can still see it's still drying, as you can see. But so I'm going to have to seal the foundation, which on this side there's a sidewalk on the back side, so I can seal it. And over here, yeah, you can kind of see there's a 16 by 32 in-ground pool out here too, so I can get access to all this. It's on the concrete deck out there, and it's all cracked, and the caulking's all cracked and everything, so that's why we got water coming in on this side. This side's gonna have to be sealed on the inside, so I might just use like a flex seal and come up to like the first block. And speaking of the flood, from this past week, I managed to get this. This has been underwater. There's water in the oil. I took the plug off and tilted it and drained probably a gallon of water out of the crankcase. But what's interesting, it's set up for natural gas, as you can see. And this is a 1978 model, so Model 32 Briggs, 16 horsepower. So I drained all the water out and cranked it over with the spark plug out and got as much water as I could out. Poured some oil down the cylinder and cranked it over and kept going until the oil came out of the exhaust port clean and not milky looking. Then sprayed a little bit of carburetor cleaner in the carburetor, and it started running on the carburetor cleaner. So I'm gonna have to change oil a couple times in it to get all the moisture out. But as long as the generator part's good, which if it's not, I'm surely I can fix it. We'll have a good backup generator for the house here. It is 220. It don't have the tag on it that shows the wattage, but I looked it up with the horsepower in this, and it should be approximately 8,000 watts. This thing weighs a ton too. It takes 2 people to load it. The exhaust pipe is broke off in the blocks. I gotta figure out how to get that out. But that's gonna be another video later on. No big rush to work on it. I couldn't pass it up, and it was getting ready to be crushed, so I salvaged that. So I almost forgot I had all my video ideas wrote down so far for this year. So we're starting off with this video, which is a spring update, garage tour, and plans. The second video is going to be combined, because I want to know what y'all want to see. You know, I don't want to keep making the same videos of vintage engines if, you know, if that's not what y'all want to see. So let me know what y'all want to see, and I'll do my best to get there. Then it'll be about how to convert fluorescent lights to LED, doing away with the ballast, wiring up the heater in here, fixing the concrete floor, and possibly paint, how to build a workbench, how to install and mount a bench vise. Okay, we'll stop right there. I want to show you what I picked out for that. I already bought 2 vices. I went with this. It's a 6-inch. It seems to be made pretty good. Then a small woodworking vise too. I figured it'd be handy too. So we got that to look forward to. There's going to be a separate video on mounting vices. And I want to do this workbench different than the old one. I want to put a steel plate on top, about 1/8 inch thick. That way it's easier to clean. It always looks nice for the videos. And I can weld on if I need to. We'll have the welder's going to be permanently set up with a welding table here somewhere. And we'll be able to weld on the floor, you know. It's going to be a lot more, you know, fabrication stuff too. Then wiring up the other lights in the garage, receptacles and conduit, and setting the welder up. I got a video on some tools, talking about avoiding cheap tools, some knives I picked up, a 90-degree drive thing for ratchets, and some flashlights I got. Now I still have an old 7-horsepower flathead Briggs with electric start I want to rebuild. Putting a Briggs carb on a Tecumseh. Winter camping tips. Back in December, we went camping, and I made a video about a Swedish fire log. And you see, that's the second video talking about it. And so eventually I want to put that up. Then I picked up a vintage Lincoln welder, a Fender Lead 2 comparison. You know, I do play guitar and stuff, and that's a guitar I picked up about this time last year. Fender did a reissue on it. So I might do which I also have an original 1981 Fender Lead 2. So there'll be a video showing the differences and just comparing the two. And we'll be playing it through an amp. I picked up, about a year ago, I bought a Fender Twin Reverb all-tube amp, so it'll be in there too. I started building the Predator 212 back in summer and didn't finish it. I'm talking about how I almost died when I was rewiring a house one time. A Post Twin issue. That's the green Montgomery Ward. I thought about adding a glow plug to the diesel on the tractor, and I want to add a PTO to the diesel. That way, to the diesel tractor, so I can put either a mowing deck on the front. I also have a walk-behind blower, and I want to make direct drive off the engine on the tractor, so that's going to be interesting how I do that. A 5-horsepower home light generator block fix. You remember that from about this time last year. How to make your own cutting board. My fiance wants a custom cutting board, so I'm going to make a video on that. How to use a chain breaker and install master links. How to use Ohm's law and Watt's law. How to flare brake lines. Brake throttle bracket kill switch. That was one that somebody requested in the last month or so. And this is just stuff to get started with, you know. And you know, there's no guarantee that you'll see all those videos, or it might be a lot of extra stuff too. But I just want to give you an idea of what's coming up, or at least what I'm planning on. And because there'll always be things come up along the way. And of course, I'm sure there'll always be some stuff pop up around the house I might make some videos on too. We've been busy painting inside the house. This weekend I'm going to try to get the new breaker box wired up and the heater installed. So that'll be the next video you'll see. Then the lights, of course. So there's going to be some electrical stuff coming up. Then we'll be back on track with the small engine stuff. I seen this cord set up on here, and I figured it was for a welder, but they only ran 14.3. There should be at least 6 or 8, and they got it piggybacked on the dryer breaker, so that's no good, you know. But I can reuse the plug. The plug will be the same. I'll just have to get a piece of wire and put on here, which is no problem at all. I got a 220 extension cord I made up, and so I made a video on that too. I never put it up, so you'll see that video eventually. And you're still going to see some videos from the old garage too. I still got probably 20 videos I never put up, so you know, if I get behind on things in here, I can always fall back on that. So if you see the old garage, Unless I say otherwise, it's an old video. But, you know, just bear with me on that. But I can't wait to see what this is gonna look like when it's done. I'm not used to having a concrete and cinder block garage, so it's a major improvement. And I'm trying to get all of it in camera, but this camera don't have a very wide angle lens. But it's 24 by 26. I think I said that. It's labeled as a 2-car garage, but 2 cars would be a little snug in there, I think. But that's that. So I just want to give you guys an update of what's coming up. And like I said, I want to hear from you. You know, any video you got, even if it's a video that only take me 2 minutes to make, you know, let me know. Because if you got a question about something, chances are somebody else does too. So I can make a video explaining that something. So, well, guys, I'm gonna try to keep this video as short as possible. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. So, see you later.